Hey y'all, whether it's the morning, evening, or afternoon, I'm just gonna let you guys had decided to vibe with E. Yes, the one and only E. Hey y'all, hope y'all feeling amazing, doing amazing, and just being amazing overall again. And if not, it's okay, it's alright, my friend, because you know why? Bedtimes don't last forever, because after every storm there is a rainbow, and you're getting closer and closer every day to that rainbow, that pot of gold, that light at the end of the tunnel, whichever one you prefer, my friend. Trust me, you got this. Slow and steady runs the race. Everything is going to go right. Just take it one day at a time. But also, please rely on them bad times, because them bad times are going to help you to get to them good times. Okay? Okay. And if you're new here, welcome, welcome, welcome. And for the ones that are not new to this but true to this, hey y'all, what's up? What's popping? Y'all, it's so bittersweet that we are on the last Wednesday of the month. But it's okay, it's all right, my friend, because you know what? We're about to enter a new month, and that goes to show that we've got 3 months until the new year is coming. So I hope that these last couple months and weeks and days do you guys justice. Whatever you didn't get to do, whatever goal or challenge, whatever you had in mind you didn't get to reach, you still have the time to do it until we get into the holiday season, as well as when we jump into the new year. I know you guys can do it. Like I tell you all the time, slow and steady runs the race. Take your time, do not rush, and please give yourself grace. That's one thing at times we don't give ourselves is grace when we're going through things, as well as when we're handling things. We don't give ourselves the space and the time to just understand that, okay, this may not work in my favor, but I'm going to give myself grace. And I'm not going to feel guilty about it if it didn't go right. Okay? So yes, y'all, we have reached the last Wednesday of September, and this week closes out our theme of education and wellness, growing minds while nurturing our souls. This month has been all about learning, healing, and finding balance. And today's vibe is a reminder that wellness also means rest, not just consistent movement. Today, like I mentioned, is the last Wednesday of the month, and this episode is all about wellness is a wellness lesson. If you're new here, on the last Wednesdays of every month, I do a wellness lesson because it's a wellness check and a little backstory. When I went to Morgan State University, shout out to my school, they had wellness days for students, and that motivated me to even teach you guys a little bit more about wellness days, because it's needed to have those wellness days. And my school was very, very big on, when we have wellness days, don't do nothing. Focus on your wellness, to the point where no assignments were due. If they were due that day, they pushed it back. Like, you focus on whatever you want to do for your wellness, but don't touch nothing from assignments, working, or whatever. Just take that time to just relax. Like, just do whatever you want to do to help you with your wellness. And with me, every wellness day that came around, I didn't have school. I didn't have any classes or school or whatever. And I was working, so I was like, I can't take off right now. But when I would get off, I would do something for my wellness, such as, journaling is another one thing that I do. Maybe took a nap, whatever the case may be. Doing whatever I wanted to do that I was pushing away or I couldn't do because of the semester. So wellness one-on-one lessons are big lessons that I like to talk about, because that brings out the more calmer side in me and also within you guys, so y'all can understand that is, even though in every vibe of the day I do encounter you guys to focus on education as well as wellness, but with wellness lessons one-on-one, it just hits the nerve a lot with it, understanding why it's important and why is it needed for us to do that, and also give us time to just regroup and recap on how this month had treated us, as well as previous months. See what we did different from this month, from last month, and what we want to do differently within the next month and months to come for our wellness and for our well-being. Okay? So, we're on the 15th newsletter, y'all. I'm super excited about that. And this is the last newsletter of this month, so I'm super excited about that. I got some big news for y'all. I'm reading through the newsletter, and then y'all know we're going to jump into it. If you want the newsletter, y'all can click the link tree on whatever way you're listening to me in the bio. The link tree is on every way you listen to me or watch me. Just click it, and it has an icon that says sign up for newsletter. Insert your email, and then once you insert your email, I will put you on there for every upcoming newsletter to come. So big news, y'all. I'm super excited to share with y'all. Vibing with E is now officially LLC. We're officially on in this. We are officially official. We are brand. Our big brand. This milestone means even more growth, strategies, and opportunities to expand the vision of creating meaningful conversations that inspires, uplifts, and connects. I thank you all so very much for being a part of this journey. I could have not reached this point without your guys' support. The crazy thing is, no one knew that I was finally putting in the work. Finally, I said, you know what? Vibe with E had been out for 2 years, and it's time to get that LLC. I was very nervous, y'all, at first because within the process, when I did it with the company and stuff for my state, I'm in Maryland, the state of Maryland, and I was doing my research. It was it could take 5 to 6, 7 weeks to tell you get the official LLC, the documents, because they got to look through your stuff and make sure it's legit and if they're going to really sign off, and then the tax, the taxes side and everything like that. So when this happened, y'all, the crazy thing is I did this in August. The week I started grad school and started my internship, I was like, okay, because I was supposed to do this for my birthday. Matter of fact, skip it, y'all. I was supposed to get the LLC once the podcast turned 2 years. But I was still a little bit shaky because I was like, okay, let me make sure I have all my ducks in a row and make sure that I'm comfortable and also know what I'm getting myself into before I just sign my name on a dotted line. And also, too, for paying for an LLC, you have to be very careful on who you sign up, what company or whatever you get the LLC through. Because one of them I seen, it was always advertised on YouTube, Instagram and stuff. And I was like, okay, I'm going to get with them. I did my research and the bundle deals and stuff was not really worth the money that they had it for, that worth the amount for the money, because I was like, okay, I might need this bundle deal one day, especially too, because we're going to put in the works of officially opening a website so that everything will be on there. Even though we'll still keep the link tree, but the website will still have once you click the website, you'll be able to hit the RSS podcast way, the YouTube, my Instagram, things like that. So the company that I'm with now that helped me get the LLC has that, and I was just so super excited. I was so glad that I took my time and did my research as well as asked some questions because, y'all, the LLC, it costs money, especially in wherever you're at within the state-wise. It may cost a little bit more. My LLC, by me being in Maryland, was not that expensive because certain stuff I didn't get right away. If you own a storefront or something, it might have been a little bit more because of the stuff you need for them. But by me, it's just basically a little bit of content until I do my own type of room and board type situation. Then I'll talk base with the company and be like, okay, look, we're gonna do this. I'm gonna push it here and stuff like that. But nevertheless, y'all, just me being able to take my time as well as doing my research was the best thing ever, because I said, I would have rushed this, I would have been screwed. And I would have been so mad because I'm like, oh my gosh, I just jumped out here and got this LLC and didn't even do no research. So, yes, y'all, I did it in August. The end of August at that, after the Wellness 101 lesson, that was 18, that Friday, I said, you know what? Let's get this LLC. Because it's been 2 years. It's just 2 years already. And I need this. It's jumping now. Every little milestone that I wanted and manifested for was hitting. 20 guest appearances, things like that. So I was like, okay, let me do it. They told me, the company was like, okay, the estimate of your LLC will drop October 9th. I was like, okay, no worries. Cool. I wasn't really tripping. I was like, okay, long as everything come back right and I know that they're going to take some time and, make sure everything is right. Funny thing was, last week, y'all, that, because it happened Friday. I just got it Friday, September the 19th. The crazy thing was, that week, y'all, I really had an up and down type of week. And I was just like, something gotta give. And when God said, look, I'm gotta give, boom, here you go. What you thought about, what you did, even though you wasn't so worried about it, is here. And I woke up, y'all. I read my work emails, vibing with emails and stuff. And I seen that because they sent me an email and a text message. And I was like, oh my gosh. And I was super excited. Like they said, like the state of Maryland, whoever's in charge, all the people like the mayor and all that was on there. And then another letter from the tax department. I was like, oh, we in there. And I was super excited. And I was just like, wow. God works in mysterious ways. I'm not going to lie to y'all. Like, he works in mysterious ways because I was having a week. Like, it was up and down. Like, 1 minute I'm good. 1 minute is like, what the heck? But he came right in the clutch, and it was just like, this is so beautiful. This was a miracle. This is what I needed. This really picked me up, and it helped me to have a good weekend. And my weekend was very lovely that I was able to record and stuff and feel good. Like, I got my hair done. I look like something, and I tried something new. So I was like, y'all, this was something to be happy about, and I'm super, super blessed about that. And I'm glad that I'm able to share these type of experiences and things with you guys, because this is also a stepping stone for y'all to understand that I'm going through the same thing you guys going through. Even though that I call myself a life coach and stuff, I'm still learning as I go. And y'all learning from me. And I'm even learning from y'all when y'all reach out and stuff like that to me. So, yes, y'all. I appreciate y'all so very much for y'all support and stuff. As well as this motivated me to be like, okay, I'm going to take this super serious to the point where now in my state, I'm making it known, like, yes, I own Vibing with E. That's my name. This is me. No one can take this from me. And that's that. Because it's like, I got the paperwork and everything right here. Like, this is my name. And I feel like a CEO. And now I got to do some more digging and diving to officially fulfill the role of a CEO. You know? So, yes, I am very thankful for this opportunity. I'm so glad that I was able to get to this point. And if you guys are going through the same thing or wanting to do that or know someone, please let them know that someone's not even a race. You got this, and just put yourself out there, and it's going to come through. Just have faith in yourself and make sure you have all your ducks in a row. Okay? And this week, y'all, I challenge y'all to permit yourself to pause. Give yourself grace. Give yourself time to pause. And that's what I did last week, too. I gave myself time to pause, even before I've got the news about the LLC. That Thursday night, I gave myself the time to pause. I gave myself the time to pause. I had a training that day with my school, and we learned about sand therapy. Sand tray therapy, y'all, that was so cool to the point where I want to try it so bad with my clients and even on myself. Like, that day after that, I gave myself the time to rest and to debrief and just think about things. I want y'all to give yourself the time to rest without feeling guilty. Knowing that slowing down does not fall behind. It doesn't. It means giving yourself strength, clarity, and peace so that you can keep moving forward with energy and purpose. I want y'all to take that time to give yourself that purpose of urge of just taking a step back. And it's so crazy, y'all. For my students advisory we did with them last week, it kind of really didn't go as planned, but it was a prime example where we learned how to. We know what to handle our triggers, but sometimes the triggers will take the best of us. And their lesson was taking a step back. Some of them took a step forward. Some took some steps forward, but they were able to understand that we're still learning how to deal with our triggers and learning how to give ourselves grace and learning to understand that it's okay to make mistakes. We're human. We make mistakes, but we know what to do before it's too late. It kind of messed me up, y'all, but I'm glad that they were able to learn from it and understand that, yeah, I got to get together. And I want you guys to do that. Like, give yourself grace. Take a pause and just give yourself grace to rest. Even if you got to take a nap or something, give yourself the time to rest without feeling guilty. Because I always felt that way, as well as others I know. They felt guilty when they had to take breaks or take a day off from work or from their business because they're so overwhelmed. I'm real big on, as you guys know, wellness and education. Wellness is a big thing, impacting your self-care and even taking that time out to focus on your mental well-being, emotional, spiritual, physical, all that. You have to make sure that you're doing what's needed for you before it's too late. Get the help you need. Talk to someone. You like yoga, meditation, touching, going out in nature, hugging a tree, whatever. Please do those things and don't feel guilty about it. What we do in life, at times we do feel guilty about it. But when it comes to loving on ourselves and pouring into our cup, we need to not feel guilty about it, because we have to love on ourselves and protect ourselves before we can go out there and to serve others in the community or wherever we serve. And it's very important that you have to learn from yourself and then you teach the people around you. Like I say all the time, learning doesn't stop. We're learning every day from ourselves, from others, as well as just learning new things. Learning does not have to stop once you get out of school in the four walls. No, you're learning even in the community. The older folks are learning from the young folks. The young folks are learning from the older folks. Like, we're learning every day. Learning doesn't stop. But you just have to make sure that you're understanding what you're learning and understanding that it's for a purpose. And don't feel guilty about wanting to learn new things, as well as wanting to try new things for yourself. And the biggest one I feel as though in life is, don't feel guilty if you have to give yourself a break. When you have to rest, do it to recharge, because in order for us to succeed and to do better, as well as give out the practice that's needed to serve for our community, we have to make sure that we're here. Mentally and physically, emotionally, spiritually, even financially sometimes. You have to give yourself that grace, but don't feel guilty about giving yourself that grace, because life be lifing. And it's very important that you understand that you have one life to live. Treat it very well and pour into yourself as much as you can. Treat yourself, don't cheat yourself out, regardless if it's big or small. Give yourself the love and energy that you want to receive from others, but the best way to do it is to give it to yourself, pour into yourself. And I just love talking about the wellness one-on-one lessons, because this opens up so many doors on understanding that it's very important to dig a little deeper to yourself, and then giving yourself the grace that's needed to love on yourself, and to even, you learn so much about yourself while being around others, as well as just knowing what you can take and what you cannot take. But please don't feel guilty about just resting. So that's a little bit of insight of what today's wellness one-on-one lesson is. I'm going to touch base on it, but I want y'all to think like, okay, what it is. And I know y'all probably read it anyway, but anyway, last but not really least, vibing out with guests. We are on the 22nd guest appearance, y'all. We have been rolling with the guest appearances. I'm super, super excited. I'm so honored about this. Like, shout out to all the guests, the past guests, the present guests, the future guests. Like, I'm super excited. I'm so blessed and honored to have these connections with you guys and to vibe out with y'all. It's just so amazing to me. Like, this week marks a special milestone, our 22nd guest appearance on Vibing Out with Guests. It proves that every story, no matter where it starts, has the power to inspire others. So that's the new slogan we have. I had to learn that from the beginning, because I was typing up and playing around with it. So I had to learn that Vibing Out with Guests proves that every story, no matter where it starts, has the power to inspire others. But y'all know me, I'm going to switch up a little bit, but we're going to get to it. So this week, we're vibing with a guest. I wasn't going to say their names, but I'm going to say their names anyway, because then y'all will know who they are. We have a guest. We're vibing with Sincere. He is a young dreamer with bold goals, a relentless spirit, and a passion for building his future. Together, we deep dive into his journey, what it's like growing up, how has his experiences shaped him, and the vision he has for himself over the next 5 years. We also touch base on his passion for acting, exploring how he sees his career unfolding, and what stories he hopes to tell on the screen. This conversation is about growth, purpose, and chasing your dream with bold courage and discipline. Topics we covered is, what is it like growing up and how has it shaped his perseverance on life, the power of 5-year goals, and how to stay focused on them, dreams of becoming an actor in the career paths he envisions, influencing mentorships and life lessons that guide his journey, and reflections on relentless discipline and staying true to himself. This conversation is a powerful reminder that no matter where you start, your vision and resilience can carry you anywhere. And that drops this Friday on September 26, 2025 at 5:30 p.m. Eastern Time on YouTube and all platforms that you guys listen to me from: Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Amazon Podcasts, etc. Okay? And this week's quote is, rest is not idleness, It is the foundation of strength. Unknown. And please, y'all, stay in contact with me. Stay connected. Follow the podcast page on IG at vibing.with.e. Use the hashtag vibingwithe to share your favorite moments and reflections. Now let's jump into the vibe. Let's jump into the wellness lesson of the day. So, Vibing with E, weekly vibe check, where meaningful conversations meets the growth in real life connections. Today's drop is focused on new episode 122, Wellness 101, Lesson 19, Learn to Rest Without Guilt. This episode dives into why rest isn't a luxury, it's necessary. Not a luxury, it's necessary. Too often, guilt robs us out of the peace that comes with simple slowing down. But rest is one of the most powerful tools for wellness and balance. In this episode, we will cover why rest is not lazy, but fuels for strength and clarity, how to unlearn hustle cultures and embrace balance, the importance of small pauses and international self-care, rest as foundations, creativity, resilience, and joy, and why resting without guilt is an act of love to yourself and others. This conversation is a reminder that you don't need permission to rest. You just need to honor yourself. Rest is restraint, rest is healing, and rest is essential for growth. Okay? So, now that I got y'all attention, gave y'all a little bit of insight of what it is, let's step into Wellness 101, Lesson 19. Learning to rest without guilt. If you're new here, I break down Wellness 101s the same way I break down the vibe of the day, the definition, the 5 W's, the quote of the day again, and thank you for tapping in with notes and packing from my research as well as, research and how my personal point of views, and also I tap it a little bit more with a little bit of more insight. Okay, so let's get into it. So I'm going to say it again. Wellness 101, Lesson 19, Learning to Rest Without Guilt. So the definition of today's Wellness 101 lesson is, this vibe is about unlearning the idea that rest equals laziness. Rest is not weak. It fuels for strength, clarity, and long-term success. Learning to rest without guilt means giving yourself permission to pause, recharging, and honoring your body and mind. Rest is a valid part of wellness, not a distraction from it. Rest is a valid part of wellness, not a distraction from it. Rest is most definitely needed in our life. Everything that we do, we want to be full of good rest so we don't be restless. As a social worker, an intern social worker at that, I'm on the master's level, so I am at the peak of like, okay, I got this now, and then once I graduate, I'm in the field. I'm still learning though. When I do advisory for my students, I'm real big on, we do the icebreaker of checking in. And my check-in for the icebreakers is, did you get any sleep last night? And if so, what time you went to bed and what time you woke up in the morning? And they're learning. We're slowly but surely getting better, because some of them was like, I went to bed at 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. And I'd be like, that's why you so sleepy, because you didn't give yourself the chance to get a little bit of rest a little bit early in the day. And that's okay, they still had the summeritis, but now they've been in school for a month. So it's like, okay, slowly but surely getting it together. And the best part is they don't get homework. And I love that for them, because they can try to get some sleep or a good nap. Or they do take naps and it be a little bit too over the time to take a nap. But I'm like, it's okay. We're still learning day by day about wellness. And it's never too early or never too late to endure the importance of wellness to our youth, as well as to young adults, older adults, and the elderly. Sometimes we don't really know so much about things because we might not have been taught, or we never took the time to teach ourselves. And that's why I like the Wellness 101 lessons, because not only is it for young adults and older adults, but it's also to give to the feedback and also teach the young adults and the youth, even to the little babies, about why it's important for them to take naps, why it's important for them to give their self grace, and also to be able to feel not guilty of what you do in life. If you have a desire for whatever it is in your life, don't feel guilty about it. But one thing I don't want you guys to feel guilty about is taking a nap, getting the proper rest, or just having a time to yourself. Life be lifing. Life really will hit you at times where you can't even imagine. And that's why it's very important that you honor your well-being, as well as you tend to pour to what's important to you. You tend to nurture yourself before anyone can nurture you. It's very important that we learn the idea of rest does not equal to laziness. It does not. Because you can tell when someone's lazy, and you can tell when somebody is not lazy. And there's so many character traits, as well as the physical appearance on you can tell when someone's lazy. But you can tell when someone is very tired and they didn't get enough sleep. That's where the conversation unfolds onto understanding, and to let whoever you're serving know that it's okay to be restless. It's okay. But it's important that you don't let this become a habit, because you need to get all the sleep that you need. Your wellness matters. You need to figure out a way to create a routine for you to get the proper sleep you need. Or at times, take the time you need to get yourself together. Like, I forgot what episode I did it on. I think it was on one of the wellness lessons. I was saying, like, if you have, personal days, wellness days or whatever, take advantage of them days, because them days are there for a reason. And going back to the hustle part, even when we hustle so much, sometimes we lose sight of, like, I'm hustling, I'm grinding, but it's like sometimes even a hustler got to get some rest. Even you as a CEO, a boss of whatever you are, whoever you are, a student, a parent, a professor, a teacher, whatever, you still need rest. Regardless of all the hats you wear, you still need to rest. All of them hats, including yourself, besides the hats or whatever you have under your belt, you need rest. Especially when you are serving a community of people, regardless if it's the youth, the elderly, young adults, middle-aged adults, whatever, babies, toddlers, the preschool level, you need to make sure that you're getting the proper rest needed. Because things can move so fast. Like, it's only 24 hours in a day. And sometimes it feel like the day go by so fast. Like, you can wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning and feel like the day already gone by the time you get home. And then, daylight savings is about to end soon. So it still give you, like, something's not right. But when you have the time, and you have the time to give yourself the time to be like, okay, I think I need a vacation. Even if you don't go out the country or nowhere, even if you stay home, give yourself the time to rest, and don't feel guilty about it. Don't feel guilty about anything you do. How about that? Anything you do in life, do not feel guilty about it, especially if you're doing it for your well-being. And one thing I know for a fact, as a person that will take a nap, because I'll tell y'all, this morning I woke up on time to get myself together. But I was like, you know what? I need to take a nap so I can recharge a little bit. Even though I'm working from home and stuff today, I still need to prepare to get myself together, because I'm working, then I got to record, and I have class. And I got chores to do. I got to wash clothes, wash my sheets. I'm doing that while I'm still handling my business. But I'm going to give myself a 30-minute nap so I can get fully recharged to be able to clean up like I did, wash clothes, doing that now, wash one load, washing another one, and dry, taking my time or whatever. But also, when I did that, I didn't feel guilty about it, because I needed it. I gave myself the grace to do that. Yeah, maybe a couple weeks ago I would have felt guilty about it, because I'm like, okay, I know I'm not supposed to do this. I have so much going on. But even when you have so much going on, you still need to give yourself grace to even sit back and to analyze, okay, this is going on. But if I squeeze in 10 minutes or something to take a nap or something, it's not going to kill me. It's not going to hurt me. It's not going to affect me. If I take the time to just sit down and just take a breather, it's not going to hurt me. It's not going to affect me. It's not going to beat me up. It's not at all. Y'all, I got the new update on my phone, my iPad, and my MacBook. And someone called my phone, and I want to know who it is. Because I'm like, excuse me? So, because when I record, y'all, my phone be on D&D. See, you already see someone's calling, so I had to let them know, like, hey, I'm recording right now. So I cannot talk, but let me make sure they know that because I got things to do. But other than that, y'all, sometimes things happen. But other than that, yes, don't be afraid to give yourself grace, as well as don't be ashamed to let people know that you have to give yourself grace. You have to give yourself grace. Let me know too. You have to give yourself grace, as well as you have to not be ashamed to let people know. Set that boundary for yourself. Set the boundary of saying, like, look, I can't talk right now, or I don't want to talk right now, but I'll talk to you later. Because I'm a big advocate on that, but I'm also, too, the type, too, that I might have to distance myself. And now, in that times, you do have to distance yourself from things and people when it comes to certain situations. We don't want to do that, but when it comes to your well-being, you have to give yourself the grace to take a step back, because your mental health matters as well as you matter. And that's why it's very important to don't feel guilty about anything you do for your well-being, for the good and whatever it is. I don't care how big or small the issue you have going on in your life. Give yourself that grace before it's too late, as well as prioritizing your wellness, your self-care, your well-being, all that before it's too late. Take that time at least once a day. Do something. Impacting too, getting some rest, taking a nap, a 10, 20, 30-minute nap should help you throughout the day so you can be able to handle what needs to come. Or, like, you have a busy weekend, you have a busy week, and the weekend is what you were looking for. Take that time to rest, to relax, to distance yourself from social media, whatever case may be. I'm sorry, y'all, my phone is jumping. So, because my mom called, my dad called, and this is the time where I get things done. So, had to make sure it wasn't no emergency or nothing, because stuff happens. But yes, don't feel guilty about taking a rest, taking a break, or stepping back, because you matter. And life be life, and we need to sometimes take a step back from what's life going on around us to give ourselves grace and to also love on us, pour into us before we can pour into others. Especially if you're a person that pours into others a lot and you don't pour into yourself. This is for you, my friend. You need to take that time out. Okay, I pour into everybody, but I need to sit back and pour into me. A little bit of self-care, a little bit of whatever, but I'm still going to make sure to incorporate some rest in there as well. Incorporate the resting for you guys. Incorporate to get a nap, relax, whatever. Rest is needed. So do it. And this steps into who is impacted. Everyone is impacted by this. Straight off the bat, everyone's impacted by this. Everyone who carries heavy responsibilities, students, parents, professors, caregivers, and entrepreneurs, anybody, struggles with guilt when taking the time for themselves. In a hustle's culture, society, rest is often seen as optional. But this mindset is damaging. Those who push through without pause often faces burnout, stress, and decline and neglecting their health. Going back to what I said about the hustlers culture. We all are in this hustle culture because, we hustling. We can't stop, won't stop, never stop. But even the real hustlers need to take the time to rest. And even when we do that, we still feel guilty because it's like, okay, I'm a hustler, but it feels like I'm not serving who I'm supposed to serve because I'm taking the time back to focus on me. Well, let me tell you this, to the students, the parents, the professors, the caregivers, the entrepreneurs, whatever, all the real hustlers out there. Do not get wrapped up in this hustle culture. Because I'm going to be honest, take it from me. I'm in it too. I'm wrapped up in it too because when you have so much on the line, I'm a student. I'm a student in training within internship, but I'm still like a social worker, but still in the training process. I'm an entrepreneur, business owner. I just, did some big girl stuff, but I'm also still human. Even though I carry all these hats, I'm still human. I still go through things. And one thing I used to say, and sometimes I still slip up and do it, when I'm tired, I make sure I put all my frustrations and anything like that into my work. And it turns into beast mode. But even when I'm in beast mode, that's where that burnout can creep up on you. Stress and me, then that's a side too of neglecting my health. Because I'm, hustling and grinding and doing everything. But it's like, okay, I'm a hustler. I got to get it by any means. Yeah, but you still need to endure. I need to endure. Even if you guys feel the same way or know someone that's in this, you still need to endure the importance of getting rest. From students, parents, anybody. This is for everyone. We're all wrapped into, we have this routine that we're used to. But sometimes we need to give ourselves some type of grace while we're in this routine. Because it's important that we need to give ourselves grace. Sometimes we need to take a nap. Sometimes we need to rest. Sometimes we need to mentally disconnect from the phones, from people, physically, whatever. Don't be afraid and don't be ashamed to take a step back from your heavy responsibility. I guarantee you, it's still going to be there. You just step away for 10, 20, 30 minutes, 40, whatever. Even if you have to have the mirror conversation with yourself. Just taking the time to rely on your wellness and learning not to be guilty about what you do is going to help you. Because like I said, we all are wrapped up in this hustle culture that I'm a hustler. I got to get it by any means. I have to make sure that I'm, serving my community or doing what I'm doing. I'm staying consistent to it. Yeah, that's good and all, but when the last time you treated yourself to something? When the last time you had a good night's sleep? When the last time you felt a lot of energy just by giving yourself grace to rest? That's when the questions start unfolding. This is when things start unraveling for us. Like, we have to be very crystal clear and very, very understanding to ourselves that life is life, but don't cheat yourself out on things. Don't cheat yourself out on taking a nap. Don't cheat yourself out on having wellness days. Don't cheat yourself out on things that you know for a fact needs to be done in order for you to be okay, as well as to go on with things. Because even us hustlers still have to make sure that we have good days. We need to show up in a good way. Because the vibes is going, the energy and the vibe, who are we serving, they're going to feel it. Excuse me. Even when you send a text message and stuff, sometimes people be like, are you getting smart with me? I don't know what's going on, So we have to make sure that we're prioritizing and getting the proper rest and having these wellness days and without feeling guilty about it. Trust me, we all had the moments where, oh my gosh, I feel guilty that I'm taking these days off. No, you have these days for a reason. You have this for a reason. You have these people working for you for a reason. You have this backup plan stuff for a reason. Take advantage of loving on yourself before it's too late, as well as giving yourself grace because you're human. We're all human. We go through things in life. We need to take a step back sometimes from our daily routines or responsibilities and to at least just woosah, taking a deep breath, having 5-minute conversations, 5, 10, 15, 20 mirror conversations with Advert, taking breaks, taking advantage of breaks, and just when we're on break, we're doing nothing. I'm not looking at no phone, I'm not looking at no emails. When I'm on break, I'm either eating or whatever. Take the time to nurture into you and also to give yourself the peace that you need, because sometimes it's hard to find peace and quiet. And I know how it is. Sometimes I'm in that mode like, yes, I'm grinding, but I cannot wait till I get some sleep. Even when it's time to get some sleep, I still be like, okay, I cannot sleep. Take advantage of this and don't let no one or anything try to steer you wrong, because you know what's for you and you know what's not for you, as well as the people, what can help you, what cannot help you. Take advantage of it. And that impacts with, what is the benefit of this? What is the benefit of you learning to rest without feeling guilty? What is the benefit of you taking wellness days? Like, what is the benefit of you just having the proper tools to know that it's important to rest, as well as rest is not an option, it's necessary to have. Rest and it improves our focus, creativity, moods, and resilience. It allows your body to heal and your mind to rest, making you more effective when you return to your task. By letting go of guilt, you learn to rest. You learn to treat rest as a form of priority because support everything else you do. Rest is a form of priority because it supports everything else you do. Like, we prioritize on making sure we're serving our community or the people we work for, serve for, are getting what they need. But do you ever take the time out of your days to even mention, like, what can I do to help proper serve me without me having to get it or receive it from anyone else? Rest is very important. Rest is a very good benefit. It helps us focus. It helps us be creative. It helps our mood. That's a big thing. And it helps us be resilient because it allows our body to heal and our mind to have rest because your mind is the strongest muscle in your body. It's always on go. Even if you think you're not thinking about something, that brain is moving. That brain is still occupying the blood, all that flowing is still going. And that's why, too, it's very important that you learn how to control what you can take, what you cannot take. The mind sometimes can play tricks on you, but you want to make sure that you're not playing a trick on your mind. And you also want to prioritize in self-care and also mental health within your mental well-being. Okay, we're good. It's very important that you prioritize in rest and don't feel guilty about it. Because once you let go of that guilt, you learn that you need to treat yourself. And rest is a very good form. I tell my students all the time, take a nap. Taking a nap is necessary, but you're not going to take a nap in class. If you need to, regroup, ask the teacher, can I walk around? Can I take a break? Can we take a break, just to woosah? But you're not going to take a nap in class. Because if I could take a nap while I'm here with y'all, I most definitely will. And we'll go back to like when y'all was in preschool and stuff. Nap time is needed. But no, we have to learn too. Like even when we're working and we're at schools and stuff like that, we still need to give ourselves we need to take a break. Bathroom break. Sometimes you need to take a bathroom break. And even in the bathroom, sometimes gotta be like the restroom, whatever, you gotta be like, okay. Whew. Walk around a little bit, get some water, whatever the case may be. Give yourself grace. But when you go home, baby, take a nap. Take that nap, my friend. Take that nap. Prioritize yourself. Get your bedroom, your nighttime routine together so you can get a good night's sleep and things like that. Because the more and more you tend to your rest, you tend to that is part of your wellness, the more and more you be creative, the more and more you're in a good mood, the more and more you have energy to survive the days ahead. When you just create a routine that's needed for you, and don't feel guilty about the routine, because y'all, sometimes I would go to bed over 1 o'clock in the morning, and I said I can't do this because I have so much responsibilities, and I would, you have to spend your time wisely and manage it wisely. And that's one thing I like. Once I'm getting older now and I have a lot of responsibilities in my hand, I got to make sure that I'm handling things one thing at a time. Even I write things out on my weekly calendar, on my reminders, on my planner. Whatever is needed to do for this day will be done that day, because everything else that did the next days will be touched based on. And if I finish everything early, I give myself time to rest, to chill out, to breathe in, breathe out, and just unwind. And don't be guilty about whatever you do. I'm going to keep saying it. Don't be guilty about if you need to take a rest, you need to disconnect from the phone, social media, do it. But I also tell people too, just do it. You ain't got to tell the soul. If they ask you, be like, right now I'm just, taking a break, focus on my stuff, get myself together. You don't got to write a whole big essay or paragraph to let someone know what's going on with you, unless they ask, because I'm big on that too. Sometimes you just got to do things for you and don't have to explain yourself, because the actions and the vibes and the energy is going to speak for itself. Sometimes in our life, we need to tend to ourselves before we can tend to others and letting it be known. Because sometimes when you let it be known and you don't stick to the plan, it's like, that's when people going to be like, I thought you was resting. I thought you was, being distant, And that's when you be like, oh, shoot, you right. So, sometimes we do things, just do it when you're ready to do it. And don't make an announcement unless you are very big, within the certain relationships you have. Even in your business, you got to let your people know, like, hey, right now, I can't do it. Or right now, we could do this, but I'm going to push it to this day, But certain stuff, we got to keep it to ourselves. But other stuff, we have to let it out to the world that, whatever the nature is. So, it benefits a lot. Within learning not to feel guilty about rest, as well as taking the energy and understanding that wellness is very important. Don't feel guilty about it. Don't feel guilty about it at all, because you're human and you go through things 24/7 and you have a lot on your plate, my friend. So take advantage of taking the time to give yourself a break, because everyone needs a break. Like every time I say I'm going to give myself a break when the school breaks come or things like that, sometimes I still don't take advantage of it because I'm still working. But don't wait too late for them breaks. Sometimes if you got to take a day out before the breaks come, do it. Do what's necessary for you before it's too late. Take that time to rest. Take that time to unwind. Take that time to really get a good rest. And also learn from yourself. And take enjoy the silence too sometimes. Enjoy just being by yourself at times. Sometimes we don't like being alone, but sometimes we need to be alone to learn from ourselves and see. Sometimes we need to be alone to get the proper rest, as well as to jot down ideas and to even get ideas done, to get things done. I know it sounds crazy, but it's all going to make sense, y'all. And that impacts in when should you rest. Whenever you feel the need that it's time for you to take a break, that's when you should be able to rest. Whenever your body, your mind, or your spirit signs that it needs to pause, rest isn't just for bedtime. It's not. It can be small breaks throughout the day, mental rest during stress weeks, or international self-care routines. Listening to these sigmas help you avoid exhaustion and sustain long-term wellness. When your body, because sometimes I'll say to people too that mentally you could be drained before your body is drained, or you could be physically drained before you're mentally drained. Whatever sign you get first, you need to catch it and tend to it. Because physically we could be drained so much when we're waking up early and moving around in the day. That's where sometimes you need to give yourself a break. You need to sit down for 5 to 10 minutes, my friend, do it. An hour, do that. And just be in complete silence by yourself, do it. I feel like we get proper rest when we take these small breaks throughout the day, or mental rest during the stressful week, or international self-care day, or routines, whatever, when we're alone. When you're alone and you're able to just unwind and understand a little bit more of, okay, this may work for me, or I'm liking this, or I need to probably incorporate this more into my life. That's when we learn so much about ourselves, and we learn what we can take, what we cannot take. Take it from me. I like to be alone at a time. Sometimes I don't even like being on my phone. If I'm not handling nothing for school, work-wise, podcast-wise, my student-wise, you will not really much hear from me like that. And sometimes I do be the same way within communicating, within group chats and text messages, because sometimes things will happen so fast. I'll read it and I'll be like, oh snap, I forgot to text back. Even on social media, but I'm big on to ask questions first, not to make assumptions, because I'm big on that too. I used to make assumptions a lot with people, and I'd be like, I don't want to say that because it'd be wrong, and sometimes it'd be wrong. When you put your foot in your mouth, it'd be wrong, okay? But don't feel guilty about it too, because life happens. Like I say, life happens. Sometimes we need to, take a step back. But whenever you have them urge feelings, you get that urge, like your body is giving these feelings, like your legs are giving out, your arms are giving out, your brain is throbbing. That's where the headaches come in. Your throat is hurt because you're talking so much. Take the time to step back, to take a break, to woosah, because it's needed. Give yourself that grace. Mentally, when you feel these headaches coming left to right, that's where the sign is for you too, to take them wellness days. Take a nap. Walk around. Sometimes maybe have to eat. Don't wait till it's too late for you to get rest. Don't do it. Because listening to these sigmas helps you avoid exhaustion and sustain long-term wellness. If you don't have a self-care routine, my friends, you better start one today. I don't care if it's journaling, jogging, going to the gym, listening to music, meal prepping, whatever you love. Incorporate it into self-care. Meditation music, taking a nap throughout the day for 10, 20, 30 minutes. Whatever it is, just give yourself that grace. Give yourself that proper rest. Give yourself the time and energy to love on yourself because it's needed. Don't wait until it's too late when it's like, okay, oh my God, I'm so exhausted, I can't do this, I need a break. When you have that breakthrough. No, my friend, take it even when you're in a good mood. Because sometimes we still need a help, we need a pick me up. Even when we're like, I'm having a good day, you still need to give yourself rest. Don't feel guilty about resting. Don't feel guilty about even having to take a break. Because we're so wrapped up in this hustle culture. Like, we hustlers. We don't stop grinding. It's not going to stop. Right now, take it from me, the one and only E, your life coach and hopefully your favorite podcaster. I, E, who is wrapped up in the hustle culture as well, am not afraid to say that all hustlers need to take breaks. Sometimes we be like, all gas, no brakes. Sometimes you take a break. Put the foot on the gas. You might got to put your foot off the gas, take a break. Because it's needed. And sometimes we don't, sometimes we're like, I don't need a break. I can't, I'm like Sonic. Fast speed and everything. No. Sometimes even Sonic need a break, okay? We need to give ourselves grace. But don't feel guilty about it. Anything you do, I'm going to keep saying it. Do not feel guilty about it. You want to go on vacation, you need a vacation in the middle of the wrong time, take it. If you have a team behind you and they're willing to help you, do it. But don't do it at a time when you know good and well you're not supposed to do it. If you got the time you need to I need to decompress, I need to do some things, okay. But if you know right now is not the time, still try to endure some type of break. But don't get too greedy now, okay? Don't get a little too crazy. But don't feel guilty about just overall taking that time for you. Because it's needed. We go through these things. And this is going to help us to understand it matters in our life that we need to have rest. Because if we don't have no rest, what's the point of it? So where does this matter the most? Learning to rest without guilt. Learning to understand that wellness is needed for us in all areas of life. When it comes to school, work, relationships, personal growth, whatever. Resting with intent helps you show up fully present in each of these spaces. Without rest, even the most important goals of relationships can begin to suffer. But with balance, it restores. So school, prime example. Ooh, y'all, I'm in my master's program. Thank God I did take the chance to do the advanced standing, as they say, the accelerate program, because I had 3 classes. I have 3 classes, 3 times, 1 class each day. Monday is a class, Tuesday is a class, Wednesday is a class. They all start at 6 o'clock. That helps me throughout the day, because on Mondays I'm working from home, doing some home chores, recording, getting things done for the podcast. After I've done my creativity and stuff, I take the time to give myself a break before I have to prepare for class. If that's me sitting on the edge of my bed, laying on the bed, sitting at my desk, not touching nothing, just resting my eyes or whatever. I tell people this all the time. In school, from elementary to college, trade, all that. You better give yourself a break. Even little kids need a break. They go through so much. They need a break. Like, their mind can take with so much. Their brain can take with so much. They can stay still for so long. Middle school, they're learning, they're still trying to adapt to, they're not in elementary school no more and learning to prepare for middle school. For high school. Same thing for high school. They're still learning, this is not middle school. I'm about to prepare for college or whatever. College kids are still wrapping around of, this is life. Like, this is really my life right now. Like, I'm really going to school for a degree or a trade or certification, whatever. Give yourself grace. And in school now, I love how they're pushing and advocating for self-care because it's needed. Whatever you like to do, please do it. And also learn how to disconnect from social media. Disconnect from technology. Just disconnect from things that you are attached to every day. And the phones, iPads, tablets, laptops are some things that we're attached to every day. Even when I don't even watch TV at times. I may have it playing, but I turn it off. I'm not looking at it. I'm like, I'm not ready to run up my electricity bill. Like, no. Just school-wise, it's very important that you give yourself a break. Even if you go outside on campus or at your school, just walk around. Talking even sometimes is needed to help you with rest, to even just focus on different things and learn new things. It's needed. At work, when you're sitting at a desk all day long, my friend, you better get up, go get you some lunch. You better step away from your desk and eat your lunch. Go walk around the building, take a break, sit in the lobby, sit in the lounge, whatever. Take them breaks because it's necessary, especially if you're there from 9 to 5, 8 to 4, 7 to 3, 6 to 2, 5 to 1, like whatever it is. Take that time to rest, because when you're doing so much, like 12-hour shifts, 5-hour shifts, 8-hour shifts, whatever, give yourself grace to relax, because you're one person. You cannot do everything. Sometimes I wish I did have 8 arms like an octopus, but I can't, because I cannot do everything. Like, I can't be Superwoman. You can't be Superman or Superwoman. Like Superwoman, we cannot do it all. It looks easy, but it's not. And the way for us to make it look easy for ourselves is to give ourselves grace. Give ourselves the proper rest without feeling guilty about it. When I take a nap and stuff like this morning, I didn't feel guilty about it. At first, I was like, ooh, it's going to run some time back. But I was like, you know what? I handled a lot of things this week within the podcast and some homework. I deserve a little nap. It's a Monday. I know I'm working from home and stuff. I don't feel guilty about it. And I'm still able to get things done. I guarantee you them clothes is dry. They're going to be folded up and in the drawers. The sheets will be dry and they'll be up probably before it's time for me to go to bed. Just giving myself that time and that rest is needed, because if not, I lose my mind. And also, too, when you don't give yourself rest, that impacts your attitude. Because that also matters the most, too, with them relationships that you build. You want to make sure you're getting proper rest, because, baby, if you're not getting proper rest, or you're not, give yourself grace, the moods, the vibes, the energy will impact your work life, your school life, but also your relationships. Sometimes you got to catch yourself when you feel a negative Nancy. I had to catch myself over the week because I was about to be a negative Nancy. Even us women, when it's the time of the month, we get the urges, and I had one because of that. Even men, they get the urge too, even when they're not in the mood. But then in relationships, their spouse might take them off, or their work might take them off, whatever. Please balance a healthy, resting, self-care routine so you don't interfere with the people at school, work, your relationships, and your personal growth. Because we even can piss our own self off, and we be like, damn. And that's where the words we come in within downgrading ourselves, such as telling ourselves, oh, you stupid as hell, stuff like that. And that's why it's very important that rest is necessary, because it helps us show up for our full potential every day. In every category that I named, like relationships, school life, working, relationships, and personal growth, is needed for us to have rest. Because without rest, even the most important goals or relationships can become suffering. When we don't get the proper rest, things get to suffer. When we do not show up for ourselves in a good way, in a good mood, a lot of stuff will suffer like hell. And you don't want that to happen, because that will have you missing out on things that's for you. So please tend to your self-care. Tend to things that make you happy, so when it comes to you hitting the goals that's needed for you as a hustler or whatever, you feel good about it. Even at times it may screw up. Still give yourself time not to feel guilty about it. In your relationships, your spouse might tick you off, but still be able to be the bigger person and to, build the rapport, as well as to be an advocate for yourself on how you feel. Even at work and in school. Advocate for yourself when you don't feel this is for you, and learn what you can take, what you cannot take. It's a process. But when you get the proper sleep as well as tending to yourself, when you're pouring into yourself, pouring a lot of energy into yourself that's needed, oh, my friend, it's going to be like, you know what, I can handle this because I got the proper rest. And also, I don't feel guilty about me standing my grounds and also sticking to boundaries that's needed for me. Saying no at times is the perfect way too to help you with rest, because at times we always tend to do things that we don't want to do. Set them boundaries as well as stand up for yourself, and also don't feel bad about it when you advocating for yourself. That's a good sign too of learning to rest without guilt. Learning to understand that your wellness matters and that it's okay to have to take a step back. I'm still learning that too at my age. That is okay, because you know what's for you and you know what's not for you. You know what your body can tend to and you know what you cannot tend to. And I say at times that intuition, all the time, that intuition don't lie. That little voice in your head, the intuition's all that, it's not going to lie to you, especially when it impacts your wellness and for you to have the time to step up for yourself, advocate for yourself. Do not feel guilty about rest. Learn to rest without feeling guilt. Learn to do everything in your life without being guilty about it. Just learn how to understand that you're doing this for yourself. You're doing this for a reason, and it's a valid reason, because life be life. And in order for you to make sure you can still thrive in this world and with everything you're doing, rest is necessary, because it's important that we understand that it's needed so we can get things done. And that impacts with the last question. Why is this important? Like, why is this lesson, why is Wellness 101 Lesson 19, learning to rest without guilt is important? Like, why is this so important? Because you can't pour from an empty cup. Hello? Pour into yourself. You cannot pour an empty cup. Like, what can you pour an empty cup? Air? Rest allows you to protect your health, maintain balance, and continue to grow without breaking down. By learning to rest without guilt, you embrace the truth that cares for yourself is not selfish, it's necessary. Caring for yourself is not selfish, it's necessary. When you pour into your cup, my friend, it's necessary. It's not you being selfish, it's you caring for yourself. Like, we are so caring people, but do we care about ourselves? You know, I care for you, but do I care for myself as much? And you know, when you're a person that's always like that, behind closed doors is hard. And that's the type of term too, practicing what you preach. Even you got to give in what you're dishing out. You really got to tend to your garden, because you're a flower. And you need all the soil, the water, and the sunlight for your garden to tend. For your cup, in order for it to be filled, you need to fill into it, you need to pour into it. Because you can't pour from an empty cup. And you got to make sure you're putting in all the energy in your cup before someone can give you something that may not even taste good in your cup, or don't even need to be in your cup. Because rest allows you to protect your health. Health is wealth. Your mental, your physical, your emotional, your spiritual, your emotional, physical, mental, spiritual, even financial wealth. Rest is needed for that. You need to protect it at all costs. Maintaining balance. Knowing what you can take this day, knowing what you cannot take. Lay out your day. Lay out what you're going to do, what you're not going to do. And continue to grow without breaking down. The more and more rest you get, the more and more you feel like you're not breaking down. You don't feel like, oh, I'm finna have a breakthrough. Or burnout is about to come to me. Because once you continue to get that rest, you're growing, and you don't feel those moments where you have them breakdowns, where you got to scream, holler stuff. Get the proper rest and nurture and care for yourself is needed, my friend. You'll be A-okay. Because by learning to rest without guilt, you embrace the truth that caring for yourself isn't selfish, it's necessary. Don't feel guilty about taking that time off. Don't feel guilty about turning that phone off. Don't feel guilty about putting that phone on D&D. Don't feel guilty about it, because my friend, pour into your cup before anyone can pour into you. Pour into your wellness the rest and without feeling guilty about anything you do. Take the time to pour into you. Take the time out of your day to love on you. No one's going to care and love for you like you do for yourself. They may, oh, they love me so much. Yes, but you need to make sure that you're loving yourself the same way that you feel the love from them. It's necessary. It's key. It's crucial. It's essential. You can't do one without the other. You can't do that one without the other. You can't, you can't be like, oh, they love on me, but it's essential. But is it crucial to you? Because are you doing that same thing to yourself? Can't do without the other. It don't make sense if it's not together. Okay. And of course, y'all, as we close out, going back to the quote of the day / the week, rest is not idealness. It is the foundation of strength. Rest is not an ideal thing. It's the foundation of strength, courage that you need to endure balance. And don't feel guilty about having it. And also incorporating into your daily life, as well as having self-care. To this day forward, I want y'all to understand that don't feel guilty about doing these things, because in order for you to pour into your cup, you need to pour into things that matter and is needed and necessary for you to get through the day and to manage what comes within your life. Okay? I thank you all for taking the time out of your busy day to listen or watch me. Because I want y'all to remember this. Remember, rest is not something you have to earn. It's something you deserve. Taking time to recharge allows you to live, love, and lead with more energy and joy. Permit yourself to pause without apologizing, because wellness isn't just about doing, it's about being. Sometimes the most powerful moves you can make is to rest. Sometimes the most powerful moves you can make is simply to rest. You ain't got to say a word. Just close your eyes or sit back and just enjoy silence or whatever. I want y'all to do that, because I hope you guys learned 3 to 5 things from this lesson today. I want y'all to take the time out of your day to just love on yourself. Give yourself grace. And don't feel guilty about having to take a break. It's needed. And if you know someone that's in the hustles, that's wrapped up in the hustles culture as well, let them know that you're going to be a hustler regardless. But even the real hustlers, superheroes and stuff need breaks. Sometimes we need to give ourselves grace before it's too late. Okay? So once again, I thank you all so very much for your time and patience and taking a day out your busy schedule to listen to the day's vibe of the day. And I hope it endured and it incorporated some things in your guys' life as well. And as always, you guys will hear from me next week, but you also will hear from me this Friday. I'm so thankful for you guys. I thank you all so very much for y'all support and y'all love. Without y'all, vibing with you and vibing out with guests would not be where it is today. And until next time, y'all, I cannot wait for you guys to hear me. And I cannot wait to hear your guys' feedback. And hopefully things are going so good. And if not, my friend, I'm here for you. I'm praying for you. Miracles work. Make that blueprint and also believe in yourself and try so you can see the results that you want. Okay? Love you all. Be safe. Enjoy this amazing weather. And do not feel guilty about whatever you're doing in your life. Okay? Bye!